welcome back. This is Red Squad. We're trying something a little different today. October is coming up soon, and it's personally my favorite month of the entire year.
Spooky.
Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday, and I love everything creepy, spooky, and bloody.
As long as she's not playing it.
Well, so I have this challenge that I actually created about 2 years ago, and I absolutely love it. I've had fun doing it. I've recruited other people to do it, so I thought I would share it online with you guys. So it's actually called my October Movie Challenge.
Dun dun dun.
And the challenge is to watch 31 horror or Halloween-themed movies in 31 days. Starts on October 1st and ends on October 31st. Now, there are a couple rules to follow for this challenge to make sure you're playing it right. But so we're gonna list them off now.
Take 27. Rule number 1. The challenge starts October 1st at midnight and ends November 1st at midnight, which means you cannot start a movie 11 o'clock on September 31st and count that for your challenge, or end a movie at about 1 a.m. on November 1st and count that for your challenge. It all has to be within the month of October, give or take about 10-15 minutes.
So that means if you start a movie, say at 10:30 p.m. on October 31st, and it just happens to go maybe 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes past midnight, that's totally okay. The majority of the movie was seen in October. Doesn't matter that it's a couple minutes past. Rule number 2. Alright, that's going to be you have to watch 31 movies. You can't watch anything less than that, otherwise you lose the challenge.
Womp womp.
Sorry. But if you watch more than that, good for you, awesome, doesn't count. But highly encouraged to see as many horror or Halloween themed movies as you want this month. But if the challenge is to see 31 movies in 31 days. So if you see 25, doesn't really count. So you lose, but you still get to see a lot of really cool movies.
And props to anybody who watches some sort of horror TV show or any series that has to do with something scary, or even the month of October or anything like that.
Talking about Walking Dead, Supernatural, Hemlock Grove, Harper's Island, Vampire Diaries, any of these ones that are horror themed or any kind of Halloween theming. Awesome that you do it. I'm currently actually going to be watching Supernatural and Twilight Zone this month. Kind of double teaming that one. Doesn't count, unfortunately. I couldn't find a way to make it work and still be fair. Because if you watch an entire season, that shouldn't really count as one movie. But then you also can't watch like an hour or 40-minute episode and count that as a movie as well. But it is really nice to keep up the theme and keep you wanting to watch more horror. So if you need a break, it is really nice to watch those in between.
What if we decided to watch something like Hocus Pocus or Halloween Town or anything like that?
Then that would lead you to rule number 3.
Rule number 3, segue. You can watch anything that's Halloween related. It doesn't have to be scary. So if you wanted to watch Hocus Pocus or Nightmare Before Christmas, which could be both Christmas or Halloween, you can.
Exactly, because not everybody's cup of tea is to watch scary, gory movies around Halloween. But a lot of people love Halloween. So I kind of included that for even people that aren't huge on horror movies, that still want to keep up with the theme, still want to try to do the challenge. You can watch anything that's Halloween themed. Now, you can't watch something that's completely offset and say that it is. You can watch parodies. There's scary movies. There's 5 of those, I think, now.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which is awesome. Definitely worthwhile. As well as sometimes I love horror movies, but if I'm trying to catch up on a couple of days and I'm binge watching a bunch of them, I need something funny and lighthearted, but I still want to keep up with my challenge. So it's a really good in between.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Say I watched Hocus Pocus and I want to watch it again. Can that count?
It doesn't count for the challenge. So rule number 5 actually means that you can watch as many movies as you want. 4? Sorry.
Math!
You said September 31st earlier, so movies as you want, but you cannot watch the same movie twice for it to count in the challenge. So, say I watched Cabin in the Woods, which happens to be my favorite horror movie of all time, by the way. Anyways, if I watch that, say, October 3rd, and I want to watch it October 28th, I can watch it, but it's not going to count towards my challenge. I'm still going to be at whatever number I am on that one, because you can't do that. That's cheating. That doesn't count. Sorry.
Winds up being a waste of time.
Yeah. Now, one thing that is very, very hard to do, because one of the best ways to go about this challenge is to basically hunt on Netflix for any horror movie that it suggests for you. Unfortunately, you will get some one-star, very terrible, hard-to-sit-through movies. Now, if you want those movies, though, to count for your challenge, you do have to watch them from start to finish. Unfortunately, it's how it is. And if you do have to turn them off for any reason, I understand. I've done it before. If you have to turn off any kind of horror movie, you just really can't sit through more of it. It's horrible, awful. You turn it off. Unfortunately, it doesn't count because you haven't seen the full movie. And speaking of full movies, it does have to be full length. I know Xander's a huge fan of those short horror films that you can find online, which are really creepy and really spooky, I will say.
I might make a list of some awesome ones at one point for this channel and post them on here throughout this month so that you know, and leave links in the description. But until then, do some research on your own. They're pretty cool.
They're really good. Unfortunately, don't count. Because that's not fair, because some of them can be anywhere from 5 minutes to half an hour. And that's not fair to people that are watching like almost 2-hour horror movies. And you have to still watch 31 of those. So they do have to be full-length movies, and you do have to see them from start to finish for them to count.
Rule numero 5. So, you can't watch the same movie twice within the month. But, say you've seen Cabin in the Woods before in a previous time, if you want to watch it during the month, you can. You can watch movies you have seen before, just not within the month. Once every 31 days. In order to help you with this rule, we recommend keep a list. That way, if there's any movies that you really liked, put them on the list. That way you know to watch them next year if you really liked them. If you didn't like them, put them on the list so you know not to watch them ever again. And it's a fun way to share with your friends, like movies that you really like or you think that they would find really, really stupid too. We do that a lot.
I will also, in the description below, I will put my list of my 31 movies that I did last year, and give you some kind of starting off points. A lot of them are found on Netflix. I think almost all of them, like 90% of them. I found some fantastic ones last year, just trolling Netflix for like cheesy ones or easy to watch. And Oculus and The Ward caught me by surprise so much, and they were fantastic movies. So keep a list, so if anybody says, hey, what did you do, you can go back. Honestly, I looked at my list one time and I could not remember what some of them were. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So definitely keeping a list will help you out. Also remembering what you have and have not already seen in that month. And that way also at the end, if you have 20, 25, or all 31, you can kind of look at it and go, these are the movies I watched. Which we will be, also at the end of the month, we will be doing another video showing what our status was, whether we won, whether we lost, how many we saw, and we will be talking about our favorites that we did see the month. And we will highly encourage you to add your list at the bottom description in the comments. So we will be doing that, so keep that list ready so at the end of the month you can kind of show us what you did.
Alright.
Rule number 6, it is have fun. I know it's so stupid and so cliche, but honestly, the first year I did this 2 years ago, I did not win. I got to, I think, 22 or 23, and it was, midnight on October 31st, and I had just finished my 23rd movie, and I'm like, oh, damn. But, I had a lot of fun. I saw a lot of different movies, a lot of interesting ones. Last year, I just kind of switched up my game plan, kind of figured out how I was going to do it, and then I was able to actually finish it last year. So this is actually Xander's first year joining me and doing it, so super excited. Hope he gets through, but we'll see.
A lot of them will see the same, but on the days that she's working and I have off and I have time to watch a movie, I will watch a movie and I will enjoy it.
One of your best friends for this whole challenge is Google. I honestly Google searched, I said, best horror movies on Netflix, and you will get a whole bunch of lists. Now I can look at those now and say, I saw that, because I watched it all on Netflix last year. So also find a friend who also loves horror movies. Ask them if there's anything they've seen, if they have anything that they're willing to lend to you. Because I have a pretty good horror movie collection myself. In
I
addition
will be
to
borrowing
Netflix.
some of those.
Yeah. In addition to Netflix. So honestly, ask people what some good horror movies are or some bad ones that are just fun to watch. Troll Netflix, Google, all that kind of stuff. Just make a list for yourself. And so when you're sitting here, instead of spending half an hour searching for a movie, that's half an hour you could be watching a movie.
And leave a comment down here. We will respond with some of our favorite movies, and we'll respond with some really good ideas and kind of interesting ones that we found. Or if you want to know any really bad ones that we find really funny or really stupid, we will respond with those. We have a large list.
Exactly. Alright,
The
so
Dead.
that was fun though.
God, that movie. All right. Anyways,
Trust me though, we do have seen quite a bit. I unfortunately am one that has seen the first two Human Centipedes and the first two Sharknadoes myself. But I've seen some good ones through looking for bad ones too.
I want to see. I still haven't seen the movie with the killer turkey.
Thanksgilling? I
Yeah.
haven't seen it either, but I know of it.
But you know what? Gonna watch it.
I heard Black Sheep is worth a time too.
Yeah.
You've heard of that one?
I have not.
Killer Sheep. It's awesome.
All right. Well,
Tremors though, don't knock it. Tremors is one of the best sci-fi original movies ever. Not the others, just the first one. Awesome. Saying. Cheesy ones can be good.
all right. But I think that completes our list and rules and all that stuff and the challenge for the month.
And remember, don't care who dies in a movie as long as the cat lives.
It's true. On that note, we will see you all with a similar video at the end of this month.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe. All that.
The subscribe
cheesy.
button is right here.
Now.
Yeah. And then just go over here, like thumbs up. The thumbs down is over here. Don't